Well, welcome to another edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Right off the bat on today's show, there's been a lot more wrangling in the sport of Formula One over the past several weeks, again with Sergio Marchionne claiming to pull Ferrari out of Formula One, again because of regulations that could be coming down the pike in the next several years. That being fair to say is that Mercedes-Benz and Red Bull and even Williams have talked about pulling themselves out as well because of those same regulations. But something happened over the past several days, past week or so, that may either mean that they double down on their Formula One sponsorships, or possibility that this could be their redirection if they do pull Ferrari out of it. And it's Alfa Romeo, another company underneath the FCA umbrella, who have announced official sponsorship, title sponsorship for the Sauber F1 team. And from here on forth, the Sauber team will have Alfa on the side of it. They've already been running Ferrari engines over the past several seasons, as they do have an alliance with that group. So this could mean a lot, but it could mean next to nothing too. I may have not even should have done that story at all. Next up on the list, well, we've talked about this machine long and hard over the past several years, and it's finally here. The Lamborghini Eurus, the, I guess you could say, second ever sport utility vehicle that Lamborghini has ever built. Now, the Eurus name has always driven me nuts, because I think it's terrible. There is a little background on what that particular name is. Lamborghini is pretty famous for naming every vehicle they've ever built after Spanish fighting bulls. And this has kind of got that flair. And Eurus is basically a breed of bulls that were used in a lot of bullfighting way back in the day. Even this brand of bull, or I guess I should say species of bull, has been long since extinct from the planet Earth. So that's a little bit of the backstory of what the Eurus name actually is. Now let's get into the good stuff, because this thing has got it almost everywhere it counts. This becomes the now most powerful, power to weight ratio that is, SUV on the planet. Comes with a 4-liter twin turbocharged V8 making 650 horsepower, 627 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted through an 8-speed automatic gearbox, and of course the vehicle is all-wheel drive with torque vectoring. The vehicle will send 40% of the power to the front, 60% to the rear, but that is adjustable inside of this vehicle. 0 to 60 comes in at 3.6 seconds with a top speed of 190 miles an hour. That'll get the kids on the school run quite quickly. Again, the vehicle is all-wheel drive, torque vectoring like we talked about before. It's also got 4-wheel steering inside of it, adaptive dampers on all 4 corners, and adaptive air ride suspension on all 4 corners as well. It's got a brand new system that's using roll control, which basically using the suspension, using computer algorithms to actually allow the vehicle to corner a lot flatter than it normally would be instead of using standard sway bars or anti-roll bars. The vehicle comes with 21-inch wheels on all 4 corners. That is standard. 23 inches are optional as far as that's concerned as well. And again, this is the most powerful weight ratio SUV on the planet, narrowly beating out the Hellcat-powered Trailhawk. This vehicle will debut around the world in the back half of the first quarter of 2018 with a starting price of around $200,000, even though Lamborghini has yet to make an official announcement on that number. Next up on the list, W Motors showing off their latest automobile. You may remember this vehicle, or at least its big brother, the Lykan Hypersport, and they only built, what, under 10 of those particular machines? This is going to be their more mainstream, even though they're only going to build 25 of them for the year. This is the brand new Fenier Super Sport. Now this vehicle's got it where it counts as well, with a 3.8-liter twin turbocharged flat 6 that comes from Porsche that has been heavily modified by the folks over at Rough to get 789 horsepower and 723 pounds-feet of torque. That is shifted through a 7-speed Porsche-derived dual-clutch transmission. The vehicle only weighs 1,350 kilograms or 2,976 pounds. That particular weight, along with that kind of power, takes this thing to 60 at just 2.7 seconds with a top speed of 245 miles an hour. Again, Lykan's only going to build these, or I guess I should say W Motors are basically going to build these in right-hand drive and left-hand drive, which mean they'll be available for the world's consumption, with a starting price of 1.4 billion pounds sterling, or 1.9 million US dollars. Maybe it's a good thing they're only going to build 25 of these things a year with a price point like that. But I guarantee, if you own one of these anywhere around the world, there's not going to be another one probably for miles. Last up on the list, let's talk about Subaru's brand new SUV, the Ascent. I know I don't talk about normal, everyday automobiles near enough as I should, but this Ascent is a pretty big deal when it comes to Subaru, because this is going to be so much more mainstream than pretty much anything they've ever built. And this is a company that's really ridden through the economic downturn like it wasn't even there, doing an exceptional job of keeping sales up and the money flowing. Now with this new 8-passenger SUV, which is the largest Subaru they have ever built in almost every way, shape, or form. This is a massive machine, especially compared to what they normally build. So them selling this, I think, is going to be a cakewalk. I think Subaru is going to be stunned at how many of these are actually going to sell. But let's get to the reason why I'm actually talking about this, because it's got everything that you were hoping for out of a Subaru. Symmetrical all-wheel drive, it's got blind spot detection, cross-traffic alert, everything you'd hope you'd have. Again, 8 passengers with 8 USB ports for all those passengers to keep them happy. But then the weirdo thing, maybe it isn't as weird as I may think of, but it sure is stunning when you think about it, because this brand new Subaru Ascent has 19, almost 20 cup holders. 19, yes, 19 cup holders. I found that stat to be absolutely stunning. 2.375 cup holders for every person inside of the vehicle if you had it loaded up with 8 passengers. I thought that was pretty doggone entertaining. Again, Subaru is going to sell the hell out of these things. They're not even going to believe how many of these they're actually going to sell, because it's a handsome car, and it's definitely what the world is pushing to with the roll to SUVs. Even though a lot of people are thinking these things may go away soon, they just keep on chugging. And that's all there was that I thought was worth talking about for this edition of Motor Cars Enthusiasts. Don't forget to like us over on the Facebook page. Links down in the show notes. Also, if you'd like to subscribe to the channel, you can do so at any time. Get the first dibs on the brand new shows soon as they come out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you again real soon.